Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. I want to talk a little bit about intuitive eating. So the definition of intuitive eating is not following a diet, paying attention to your body, paying attention to how your body feels, and feeding your body based on what your body needs. So essentially listening to your body. So I did follow intuitive eating for about a month to a month and a half, and today I'm going to be going over the pros and the cons that I noticed from intuitive eating. The first pro that I noticed from intuitive eating versus following a diet is that you don't feel guilty about eating certain foods. We all know when you follow a diet, if you're not sticking to this particular diet and you're eating anything that's not on your meal plan, you're just, you're going to gain all this weight. You feel like you're going to gain all this weight. You feel like you're a failure. You feel like you can't stick to a program. You start just beating yourself up. I know that's what I do sometimes when I try to stick to a certain diet and then I maybe eat one thing that's outside of my meal plan. I'll sit there and beat myself up, and I'll think that all my progress is ruined and that I might as well just eat whatever I want for the rest of the day. For example, if I am following a meal plan and the meal plan says eat, oatmeal for breakfast, a turkey burger and some sort of vegetables for lunch, and then for dinner have like a salad or whatever. If I don't eat the lunch that is specifically on my meal plan and I eat something else, then I'll just think the whole day is ruined and I'll just eat whatever I want for dinner that night instead of hopping right back on the wagon and eating, what I have planned for dinner. So that is one pro that I noticed. I didn't have that all or nothing mentality. I ate when I was hungry and I stopped when I was full, just like intuitive eating states. And I didn't feel guilty for eating a cookie or a bag of chips or having a soda every now and then. I didn't feel that guilt that most people do. So that is one pro that I've noticed, or that I noticed. You don't feel guilty about eating food. The second pro that I noticed, and it's kind of funny, but it is something that I noticed when following intuitive eating. You save a lot of money. You save a lot of money when following intuitive eating because you are not buying food to cater to a certain meal plan. You're eating literally whatever is in your fridge or whatever they're offering at work. I know my job, I work in an office. I'm sure a lot of you work in an office as well. They're always throwing a party for us. They're always, having some sort of potluck or some sort of, gathering where there's food. And what I would do when I was quote unquote sticking to a diet, I would not eat the food that everybody brought for the potluck. I would go and buy a quote unquote healthy lunch and eat that instead of eating the food that was free and that was already there for everybody. So that's another thing that I noticed with intuitive eating. I was able to enjoy company and enjoy my coworkers more and not constantly be spending money, at the grocery store or in the cafeteria at work buying what I thought was healthy, because essentially I probably was eating more calories at least when I was eating those quote unquote healthy foods at the cafeteria when I could have just gotten a small plate of nachos or some fruit or maybe just one cookie that they were offering at the potluck. So that's another thing. I did save a lot of money because I wasn't just so focused on buying healthy foods. So yeah, that's what I noticed. So the third pro that I noticed was that I don't get anxious around food now. And I know that sounds crazy, but for me, my absolute favorite food in the entire world is pizza. And so if I'm sticking to a diet and there's pizza around, I would avoid it like the plague. I wouldn't even go near the pizza. If there was a party at work, or if one of my sisters brought pizza home after work, I would just avoid it altogether, because I knew in my mind that I was going to overdo it. I was going to overeat. I was going to eat, way past the point of feeling full, and I was just going to feel sick, and I was going to feel miserable. So I just cut it out altogether when people would bring it around me. So when I decided to follow intuitive eating, I no longer felt like that, because I knew that I could have pizza if I wanted it, and when I felt full, I could stop, and that if I wanted pizza again tomorrow, I could have it again tomorrow, or if I wanted it again, 2 days from now, I could have it again 2 days from now, because there are no good or bad foods. You're just literally listening to your body, giving your body what you're craving, and again, just not labeling food at all. So that's one thing that I noticed, and that I still experience now. I'm not really following intuitive eating now. I've kind of ventured back into watching what I'm eating, and I'll get into that more later in the video. But I don't feel anxious around food anymore, which is really good. So now I want to kind of get into the cons that I noticed when following this new style of eating, intuitive eating. The first con from intuitive eating that I noticed was that initially you are going to gain a few pounds. That's just the reality of getting rid of the restrictions in your mind and incorporating more of the foods that you love back into your diet. You are going to gain a few pounds initially. Over time, your weight does stabilize, but initially you will gain a few pounds, and you will have to be okay with that if intuitive eating is a style of eating that you plan on following for the rest of your life. The second con that I noticed, if you are new to intuitive eating, like I was in the beginning, again, like I said, I followed it for about 2 months, but that first week to 3 weeks, I did experience a little bit of guilt when I would eat certain foods. I know, for example, one day I was at work and I was about to go on lunch, and I decided to have buffalo wings for lunch. And I brought them from home, so I popped them in the microwave, and I was eating my buffalo wings, and they were delicious, of course, because who doesn't love wings? So I finished my wings. I think I only had 3 or 4 wings, right? So 3 or 4 wings. So I finished my wings, and then after I ate my wings, I was like, okay, well, I need something sweet. So I went to the vending machine, and I got a Hershey's bar. It was just a, normal size Hershey's bar. It was not a king size, not a, nothing crazy, just a normal sized Hershey's bar. And I ate the Hershey's bar. And after I finished eating that chocolate, I felt disgusting. For some reason, my mind was telling me that I was just going to just gain all this weight, and, I'm just going to be so unhealthy. And, who eats wings, turns around and eats chocolate? I was going through it mentally. I was just like, I can't do this. And, I need to go back to following a meal plan. And it was terrible. Like, I was just beating myself up mentally for having those wings and then that Hershey's bar. So you will initially experience a lot of guilt in the beginning. So that's another con. So the whole concept behind intuitive eating is to allow your body to naturally get to the weight that you were designed to be at. And you're not following a meal plan. You're not trying to get yourself down to a certain weight. Intuitive eating goes against yo-yo dieting. You're pretty much allowing yourself and allowing your body and your genetics to stabilize so that you can maintain a certain weight for the rest of your life. Because what a lot of people do is they follow diets. They lose weight and then they gain it back, and then they lose it again and then they gain it back. Me personally, I like to be able to walk into a boutique. I'm just saying, I'm just being real. I'm just being honest because I know other women experience this too. I want to be able to walk into a boutique or a clothing store and be able to shop off of the rack. I don't want to have, I don't want to not be able to fit into any of the clothes in the store. I don't want to be able to not fit into, any sexy dresses or anything like that. I'm human and I'm a woman, and it may sound vain, but body image and intuitive eating and allowing your body to stabilize at a certain weight, that sounds good, but at the end of the day, the weight that your body stabilizes at may not be the weight that you are happy with. So that's the last con that I noticed. I am 28 years old. I am 5'5", and I am 170 pounds. Like, I fluctuate anywhere between 170 and 175. Am I healthy? Yes. But am I at the weight that I want to be at? No. My body does stabilize. Now, this is the weight that my body is happy at, around 170. If I'm just not following a diet, if I'm just listening to my body, enjoying the foods that I love in moderation, and not counting calories. I mean, as far as, and even that's with me, drinking wine and having margaritas when I want margaritas, my body stabilizes around 170 pounds with me not following any kind of diet. Intuitive eating says that you should accept your body and allow your body to stabilize at the weight that it wants to be at, so that you don't yo-yo in your weight. That's fine and dandy, but the reality of the situation is, women, and I know I can speak for women because I'm a woman and I know how we think. At the end of the day, you may not be comfortable with the weight that your body naturally wants to be at. I do think it is necessary for people to follow an intuitive eating style at some point in their life, just so they can kind of get over those food fears and feeling guilty when eating certain foods. Long term, if I am going to be honest, intuitive eating is not for me. I think that if you want to enjoy some of the foods that you love and still maintain a smaller waistline like most women want to, I think that flexible dieting is a great approach. That way you can still enjoy some of the foods you love and still stay within your caloric needs. So that's my spiel on intuitive eating. If you currently follow intuitive eating, or if you have in the past, shoot me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree, because I know some people are going to disagree with some of the things that I'm saying in this video, and that is perfectly fine. Let's get the conversation going, and let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.